Happy New Year's Eve, everybody.
You guys are matching hats. That's so cute.
We are bluffers,
I don't have one.
Well,
want to be our triplet?
This is so disappointing.
Want to be our triplet?
Wait, what did you say, Dan?
You want to be our triplet?
Oh, sure.
Okay, I'm gonna give you a hat.
But how's it going, everyone? Welcome to our random 1 o'clock stream. But we needed to break down this Team Canada roster, joined by the usual suspects, Mr. More for Your Money,
Woo!
And Adam the Goat.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, I'm actually put Happy New Year, but no, it's Happy New Year.
It is Happy New Year. That's a good.
I already got the keys. I still wish you'd be able to see amateurs for hockey. Yeah, this has been a mixed. We've had this argument on the desk. Some of us, myself included, don't feel the NHL should be going. I know Adam and Dan and Lane all want the NHL going.
What is it because of the ice? Is that why you think? Is it because of the ice, or
I think it's just personally. I think it just hurts, and I think it hurts NHL teams. Because what's Pittsburgh going to do on their cup run if Sidney Crosby gets a season-ending injury?
I will say the only significant injury I at least remember, because it happened in 2014, so I remember it happening. The only significant injury I remember happening ever at an Olympics that I've watched at least was Tavares when he got hurt in the 2014 Olympics. But I'm pretty sure he got healthy near the end of the season for the Islanders, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, I'm not saying it's going to happen all the time.
Stamkos shattering his leg trying to make the Canadian Olympic team. Yeah. But that wasn't really something that was affected by the Olympics, in my opinion. He just kind of broke his leg on a freak accident. But I guess you could still make the case that that's the problem, I guess. I don't know.
Dan, you're being called out. I mean, and so am I actually. Because it's not 2025, not 2026 yet. It's tomorrow.
Well, it's still Happy New Year because it's New Year's Eve.
That's right.
I don't know who keeps asking who is sick.
Maybe me.
Lane was sick.
I'm not sick as far as I'm aware.
My voice is just very deep and mysterious. And Dan's just sick in the head.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Whoop. Wrong account.
Oh, I think that was from the other Sam account.
Yes. Sam, we just thought you wanted to watch us so much you have us on multiple computers.
That's got to be what's happening.
You could zoom in on Dan all the way so you could see Dan's face. You could zoom in all the way on Adam so you could see Adam's face.
No, don't zoom in on my face.
Zoom in all the way on me so you can see my face.
Oh, she was talking about you. He was talking about you, Jacob. Oh.
Hello.
Jacob, you sound sick, apparently.
I think I sound lovely.
No, that voice was creepy. Never do that.
Hello, Adam.
Oh, stop, please.
Would you like to read you a bedtime story?
No, I don't like
Anyways.
that.
Louis Armstrong voice.
Anyways, I think it's time. You know what? We had a weird enough show last night, so
it's fine.
Let's not do the weird anymore.
So let's get right into these rosters here.
The roster, Jacob. It's
the
only
roster.
We don't have the American roster until Friday.
Okay, but let's take a look at this right here. So forwards, we got Celebrini, Cirelli, Crosby, Hagel, Horvat, McKinnon, Marchand, Marner, McDavid. Actually put Marchand there twice, but that's okay. Reinhart, Stone, Suzuki, and Wilson. Defense, you have Doughty, Harley, McCarr,
Morrissey,
Parenko, Sinan,
Wisey twice,
Theodore, and Taves. Then you have Binghamton, Kemper, and Thompson. Where did we go?
Such interesting decisions in my eyes. Cirelli, I didn't really see Anthony Cirelli going, given I didn't take him on my roster. If y'all watched that episode, I did not take Cirelli. I'm surprised by it. But I'm really not, because John Cooper definitely wanted him. I totally feel like that's why he went originally. Why he went, not originally, but the Four Nations was because of John Cooper in my eyes. But I'm surprised by the defense being the same. I totally thought Schaefer was going to go.
I mean, Anthony Cirelli only has 22 points in 34 games, but he is a plus 18.
Well, look at Thomas Harley is not having a great year at all. This not been a good year for him. I'm surprised he's going because Schaefer's having a better year. So I'm so surprised he's going instead. I would assume it's over Schaefer, but like I read that I think it was the decision was between Bouchard and apparently it was between Bouchard and Schaefer for the 8th D-man. And if it was going to be Schaefer going, and neither of them are on the team, which is even more surprising.
And when you look, there's not a lot of changes from this team to Four Nations, although there are a few.
There are a couple I want to talk about.
There are a couple. And
Tom Wilson being there, I'm not surprised by because I had him
Tom
on my
Wilson
team.
is there instead of Sam Bennett. That's kind of my 2 cents
Well,
on that.
I think Tom Wilson.
I have both of them on.
I think Tom Wilson is better in some ways than Bennett. I also think a big thing is I think Wilson's able to control his emotions better. Not emotions, I should say. His discipline has improved a lot more. And I think Bennett has had some moments in the last year or two where it's been like his judgment of certain situations has not been well. You could say the same thing about Brad Marchand from last night. That was an awful thing.
Yeah.
But it's, I guess, because of the other players on the team, Sam Bennett isn't fully needed.
But this is an interesting take, though. Sam Bennett is way more clutch.
Yeah, but Crosby's clutch. McDavid's clutch.
think
Braden Point can be clutch. There's a ton of players that bring.
I think I don't think Sam Bennett played himself off the team. I think Tom Wilson played himself on the team. 19 goals, 18 assists, 37 points, plus 16. This is no longer Ovechkin's team in Washington. It's Tom Wilson's. And
I wouldn't even say it's Tom Wilson's team.
I would. Tom Wilson is their best player. Look, by saying who tied the gold medal game, you can argue Mitch Marner was clutch because he got both assists. I don't think anyone argues that Mitch Marner and clutch goes together unless he's holding a clutch purse for someone.
I would say, in my opinion, Reinhart is better than Bennett, which is why Reinhart's on the team. I think Bennett's an exceptional. I think Bennett is a really good hockey player, and I think he definitely deserved a spot on this team. But the other players in this forward group are, you could argue, are better than Sam Bennett. Maybe Wilson's a little bit of a stretch. Mark Stone.
Sam Bennett, 13 goals, 16 assists, 29 points, and a -1. Having a good year.
Stone is something.
There's one key factor about Sam Bennett everyone's forgetting about. Mr. Wilson. I love Mr. Wilson, and my team I had both Wilson and Bennett. The reason why I have both of them is Wilson's phenomenal. You have to blame this year, 100%. The key with Bennett over Wilson is Bennett can take faceoffs. He's a centerman as well as a winger. And same reason why I had people that played both winger and faceoffs. I think this Olympics going to be very, very tight, and it could come down to centermen getting kicked out of the draw. And so I want someone on each line that can at least, two people on each line that can take faceoffs just in case. I know that sounds crazy, but there's so many clutch moments where it's happened off the faceoff.
Mind you, I like this take right here about. Sorry, I'm didn't mean to cut you off. I like this take though about Stone.
Yeah.
Personally, I know Mark Stone couldn't even stay healthy during the Four Nations. He's a great player, but with his injury history, I can think of a lot of other players I would have wanted instead of him.
Well, Jacob,
I knew he wasn't going to make the team, but I still argue Jordan Eberle should be on this roster. I knew he wasn't going to make this roster, but I'm still going to argue the fact that I think he should have been. And Connor Bedard's supposed to be healthy by the Olympics. How do we feel about the guy who, before he was hurt, was, honestly one of the best players in the NHL?
He's on standby for sure. He's heavily on standby. In my eyes, he's not on the team because he is currently hurt, and you don't know how he's going to play when he comes back. I would rather have had him on the
always
team.
Hurt.
But maybe that's why Mark Stone's there, because he's going to get injured and Bedard will come
currently hurt. But is Mark Stone currently hurt, Jacob?
Oh, he'll be hurt when he stubs his toe to get himself a cup of coffee.
The reason Bedard's not on the team is because he is currently hurt. It sucks, but that is why I believe the decision was taken.
I still think it's
but Dan, I do want to point out, when you said you wanted people who could play also face-off wise, and I do want to say, a bunch of the players who are on that team, like Suzuki can play multiple positions. Reinhardt, I'm pretty sure, can take faceoffs, if I'm not mistaken. He is a center.
He can, yes.
But Braden Point can play center and wing.
Yes,
Mitch Marner could technically take face-offs.
Hey, Mitch Marner can play.
I want him in a face-off.
No, but he can because he's played center before. He can take face-offs, whether you like it or not. That is something he can do.
I have him on my team, but
positions. Brandon Hagel cannot play multiple positions. I don't know why I went for him for an example. But like Jacob, can you bring back up the roster because I don't remember it fully?
Well, I actually like Brandon Hagel. I got a new respect for him.
I do want to like go through and see because I'm like a lot of these players can play. Like Suzuki can play on the wing, but he can also play center, and he's an exceptional centerman. He's very good on the face-off dot. I don't remember who. My team too. Whenever Jacob can get the roster back up, there is a player.
I do apologize. There's the odd typo on it. I made this.
Bo Horvat. There was an interesting thing that Doug Armstrong said about Bo Horvat. He is on this roster the best person on faceoffs on the current roster.
That's why I had him on my team, Canada. So I'm actually.
I will say I feel bad for not having him on my team now.
I don't
because he has been playing very well and I underrated him. But the reason I didn't take him was because there's a lot of really good players on this team. There's obviously a reason I didn't take him. But like I'm very surprised by Cirelli. Hagel's one I'm not surprised by. Horvat I was surprised by, but of course he can play deeper in the lineup. He can play multiple positions. Can play up and down the lineup. Can play power play. Can play penalty kill. Same thing with Suzuki. He doesn't do it very often now, but he can. Brad Marchand can play and like anywhere on your lineup and be effective. The defense is interesting because it's the same. That's the only thing that I was very interested by was that the defense stayed the same. I already mentioned Schaefer was interesting that he didn't go. I'm surprised that Thomas Harley's there because he has struggled heavily this year, playing again behind Heiskanen, which is was a big reason why he did go last year was because of how well he played without Heiskanen in the lineup. But like Sanheim, I'm surprised by when because I didn't take him. I of course took Jacob Chikrin, who's on pace for over 20
that's
goals
a big mess
for the second straight season. I think it is, which is crazy. I did take Shea Theodore, so I'm glad he's going because I think Shea Theodore is an exceptional player.
For sure.
But like Drew Doughty, I said, of course, I brought him for experience, so I'm not surprised he is there because he and Crosby are the only two players on this team who have played in an Olympic game before. They're the only two players on this team who have played in the Olympics before. So
also, quickly,
sorry, Jacob, you can go.
I was going to say, I apologize for the couple typos on the graphics. I whipped those up in under 4 minutes. So I just quickly grabbed the one off the Hockey Canada website and answer Sam's question. Sam, I graduated. I hit the wrong one. Sam wasn't obvious, but that's okay. Sam, I graduated from Seneca good 4 or 5 years ago, I suppose. I'm aging myself here. But Dan, Mr. More for your money, bought me this hoodie about a year ago.
I was going to make you feel old, but now I'm not going to say it. Well, because you said you graduated.
Hey, you know what? Maybe Sanheim will play so well, it'll be like he is 2 defensemen combined into one.
Sanheim, I'm very...
Hey, we can just clone them.
Because Willie even...
There's too many men on the ice if it's a clone.
But here we go. Is anyone arguing that Tom Wilson is an immature goon even off the ice? I've heard interviews and he's childish, cocky off the ice. He embarrassed me.
See, I totally disagree with that. I think he's quite a gentleman off the ice. Wilson
has certainly improved though his like because I don't remember what year it was. I also don't remember the player he hit off the top of my head, but I remember he did a headshot like middle of the ice with the Capitals that was like it was a disturbing hit. It was a bad hit. It was an open ice hit that got him, I think it was 24 games, I think it was something like that. He got shortened down to, I think it was 20 or 16. I don't remember which one, but he did get it shortened, which I was so surprised about. But since then, I think he has definitely cleaned up his game. He cleaned up his act. He was told to clean up his act by the Capitals. I'm sure of it, but he has certainly cleaned up his act and he has looked incredible the last couple of years. He did have a semi bad hit earlier this season, I think it was. But I don't think he is as goony as that sounds so weird the way I just put that, but he isn't as much of a goon as he used to be. I don't think
for sure.
He's not as like I will say like, I thought he was a very ill-disciplined player. I didn't like how he played. I thought he has certainly cleaned up his act, especially since the Capitals won the Stanley Cup in 2018.
Yeah.
And I do think he deserves this spot on the team. He has been
100%.
very good for the Capitals. You could say he's been their best player. I don't think I think Ovi's been playing great, but I think Tom Wilson's probably been their best player.
100%.
Which is crazy to say, given I don't think you could have said that five, maybe even 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I love our defense. I'm
okay.
surprised.
So Adam, this is where you and I strongly disagree.
Yeah,
I don't.
I love it mostly. I don't love. I dislike and disagree with at least 3 players on the defense because
but then you could argue you don't like half the core that's going to go on the ice.
Yeah, I love. Well, that's why I corrected myself and I said I love most of it. Like I love Drew Doughty. I love Cale Makar. I love Morrissey.
Morrissey was a big miss on the Four Nations. He made it.
No, he was there. He just got hurt.
Defense. That's most of the defense. I agree with 5 of the 8 picks.
Okay,
I disagree with Harley. I disagree with Parenko, and I disagree with Sanheim. Those are the guys I disagree with.
Oh, no, Sanheim's really good.
I strongly disagree with Sanheim.
Thought other players should have went.
I strongly disagree with Parenko, and you guys aren't going to like it. I don't agree with Shea Theodore.
Why don't you agree with Shea Theodore? That's one. So you're okay with Thomas Harley after the season he's had, that he is on this Olympic team over
because you can tell the way they built this team. They went for what did you do for me at the Four Nations, not what have you done for me lately.
But that shouldn't have been the case. You can't say, oh, what did you do for me a year ago? Oh, you played really well a year ago. That means you're going to play. That's why
I had. That's why Sam Bennett not on team.
Jacob, I have 1 point to make, one more point, and then I will let you continue. Because the reason Binnington's on this team is because of his reputation from the playoffs from 7 years ago, nearly now, and from a tournament he played a year ago. He doesn't even start for St. Louis anymore.
No, he doesn't.
Hey, Joel Hofer is their starter currently. Jordan Binnington is a backup and is going to probably start for the Canadian men's team against Czechia in a month, in just under a month.
We know Lane
that is embarrassing that a backup could potentially start in the Olympic Games for the Canadian men's team when arguably one of the best goalies in the league in Logan Thompson is going to be his backup probably. That is embarrassing to me. I disagree that you could go based off of a tournament that was a year ago. I thought other players have played well enough to be over 3 of these guys. Shea Theodore is not one of them. I disagree with you on that, but you cannot pick based on reputation because that is a terrible way to go about picking a team.
So you're telling me that just put on then.
Currently, and some of these players don't deserve to be on this team, in my opinion. But
you're saying you can't pick on reputation. So if Connor McDavid was let's say hypothetical on a 10-game goalless drought, do you not put him on this team? Like I think you can take reputation.
Well, no, because like a 10-game, but it depends. You're
saying Shea Theodore over Thomas Harley, like it's a huge slam dunk. Theodore has 4 goals, 16 assists for 20 points in 31 games. Harley has 2 goals, 12 assists for 14 points in 27 games.
No one cares what points. What's the plus minuses?
Okay, -2 in Dallas for Harley, +5 for in Vegas. It's not like +5's this big sexy number, guys. Okay, I'm gonna say it then. I want to take in Theodore or Harley, to be honest, even though I had Harley on my team originally.
Shea Theodore is not there because of his offense. Thomas Harley is. Thomas Harley's game is his offensive game. Shea Theodore is never been known as an offensive defenseman. He is more known for his defense. He's been more known in the last couple of years.
Theodore had 57 points last year.
Yeah,
I totally disagree with that take.
I should say he's not there for that reason, though, because Cale Makar's there for his offense. You have Josh Morrissey there for offense. Like, Shea Theodore is not there necessarily.
But there's better shutdown defensemen than Shea Theodore.
Yeah, but he's not there necessarily for his.
But if he's not offensive, he's not a shutdown. What's he there for? To do the laundry?
I don't know, but he's not.
There's better defensemen than Colton Parenko. It's just Canada has arguably some of the best defensemen in the world, and I think we left some of them home. And if you're going to say then we're not going to take players based on what they've done in the past, why the hell is Drew Doughty on this team?
You have to bring Drew Doughty. You usually have to bring Sidney Crosby.
He has not been that
You cannot compare Drew Doughty to Sidney Crosby.
Drew Doughty is the Sidney Crosby of defensemen.
Drew Doughty
has 13 points in 31 games, and he's a +11. Like he's
not been that bad.
+11, bro.
Drew Doughty's been great this year. He's not been that bad. He was worse last year. The fact he went to the Four Nations surprised me because he was hurt before the Four Nations, and he didn't.
Which is why I think it's insane Connor Bedard's not on this roster.
Well, Connor Bedard, I think the worry is how he's going to perform after his.
He's Connor frickin' Bedard. He'll be fine.
No, but Jacob, I think the worry is that if he comes back and is not necessarily 100% because he's rushing to come back for the Olympics, it may not be a good look if he gets hurt there at the Olympics because he rushed back for an Olympic game.
Chicago sucks anyways. It's not like they're going to win a cup this year.
No, it's not. But I think that's the worry is that you don't know how he's going to look
after
the injury. I think that's the concern.
I like this comment, the one above Sam's here about.
Yeah, we haven't got to all the comments just because we were in a heated debate.
Like, what Quebec player would you bring? What Quebec?
But you gotta figure it is Team Canada. You should probably have someone from every province.
Okay, Jacob,
I don't agree with that.
Who from Quebec has to be on this team then? You look Dan, I tell you, look up Quebec-born players and tell me which Quebec-born players deserve to be on this roster. Look it up right now and tell me. Same thing with whoever commented that. I want to listen. I want to hear who you think that is Quebec-born deserves to be on this team. Sam Montembeault is a Quebecois, and he was the one who was on the Four Nations team who's Quebecois, but he's not been good enough this year.
Well, at least Noah Dobson should be on. That's the biggest miss to me. Had Noah Dobson's not on this defense. I know he's not born in Quebec, but at least he plays in Montreal Canadiens. I know you have Nick Suzuki for the Montreal Canadiens. But
like, who is Quebecois born? Like Brad Marchand, but I guess from Nova Scotia is not close enough. But
no,
Montembeault sucks, so he was never going to be on this team. He shouldn't have even been on the Four Nations, in my opinion, last year.
No Zach Hyman on this list.
And that's another take. I don't know why you bring Anthony Cirelli over Zach Hyman. That's another. The more I look at this roster, the more holes I can poke in it. And I know you get Lane's comment here. Can't wait to see this on the smaller rink. So we got to get to some comments here. Yeah, TJ Oshie. I think this is back to the take on who best players are in Washington. TJ Oshie, when he was healthy, was amazing. I think he's American.
He is American.
Quickly to a comments. This is about points here. Mike Matheson is Quebecer. This is why I think Mike Matheson's a better take than Shea Theodore or Travis Sanheim, Cole Parenko.
He's having a great year, Matheson. I really like
him. Matheson, I've watched enough Montreal games now to have a really good take on Matheson. And Matheson's a hell of a player.
He's a great player.
I kid you not. If Montreal gets the goalie for getting a cup very soon, I kid you not. They're that good.
Okay, well, what's your timetable for that then? I actually want to know.
Once they get a goalie, I don't know if they're getting a goalie tomorrow on trade deadline next year. I don't know when they're getting a goalie, but once they get a goalie, they got a cup.
So Mike Matheson has 4 goals, 14 assists, 18 points, and a +9 on a team that doesn't have a goaltender.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Mike Matheson is a dog on a bone. He's physical. He plays 25 freaking minutes a night.
You can say the same thing about Shea Theodore. Golden Knights haven't had a goalie in months.
I would take Matheson over Parenko.
Like, yeah, you could say the same about Colton Parenko, actually, because Jordan Binnington's not really a goalie at this point. He's been struggling.
Oh, apparently he is. He's going to be the starter in the Olympics.
Well, he doesn't.
Starter.
I've already said that.
I will put
a starter.
I don't like to spend money, but I would put money on it that Jordan Binnington will be the starter for Game 1 in the Olympics. It's a terrible decision, but that's what they'll do.
Wow.
Oh,
Jacob, all I'm saying is I just feel, I mean, obviously, you know what? You could literally build 2 Team Canadas and have 2 strong teams. I think that's a fair, except maybe in goaltending.
So
just the goaltending in Canada, as we saw in the comments, which apologize, everyone. We're getting to the comments the best we can.
Thank you, everyone. Great comments.
The goaltending. I don't think the goaltending's terrible. I think Kemper and Thompson are 2 really good goalies.
Why are not any Colorado goalies on here like Mackenzie Blackwood?
I'm not sure.
I guess on Blackwood, Wedgwood, Allen. I think those are. Would you guys all agree? Jake Allen, Scott Wedgwood, and Mackenzie Blackwood are all better goalies than Jordan Binnington.
Yeah.
Right now, yeah, I would agree. Jordan Binnington should never be near this.
Hey, I think this is the worst pick out of anyone on this roster is Jordan Binnington.
Wait, Jacob.
Really?
So I have a quote.
For me, it's Anthony Cirelli.
Not really a quote from Doug Armstrong, but he did say that Connor Bedard's injury didn't really impact the decision not to select him which makes things a little bit more interesting because I said I thought it might have been the injury. Turns out it wasn't. So that makes it even more confusing on why Connor Bedard's not on this.
I don't get the Connor Bedard hate. This kid is insane. And
well, I don't think there's hate from Canada.
No, there is, because everyone went on last year. Oh, he only put up 60 points. This guy's washed. This year, when he was healthy, he's the best damn player in the NHL, arguably, right now. I'm sorry, he's better than Macklin Celebrini.
Wait,
and I think Celebrini. I think Celebrini's a hell of a player. But
like
Connor Bedard, with pure hockey IQ, stick handling ability, plus what he's done in a Canadian jersey in the past, we would have not have won that gold medal the year Bedard was there if we didn't have Connor Bedard. Connor Bedard was the youngest player on that team, and he completely dominated it. I don't agree with Connor Bedard not bringing one of the best players you have available.
There's no
Connor Bedard. I got a key point to make here.
It's all from the fans. There's fans who don't like Connor Bedard. But
now Connor Bedard just more energy they're going to use. See, Connor Bedard's not that great. Couldn't even make Team
but
Canada.
That's a Hockey Canada decision.
I got a key point here.
What's your key point, Dan?
Okay. My key point is I have a feeling with Connor Bedard. He's going to be like the Joel McGinley in Salt Lake City 2002. Joel McGinley wasn't even selected as the main roster for that 02 team. And I forget who was injured, but someone was injured, and McGinley was a last-minute call-up like a week before the Olympics started, and then McGinley was the big hero. I think that could be the case with Mark Stone. I think that's one reason why we put Mark Stone on this team. It's kind of like a safety net. You know that Mark Stone could get injured, so if he does get injured, you could supply him for someone like Connor Bedard, something that is basically there if they make a mistake, I think.
Well, Dan, I do want to point out,
this is an interesting take in the comments, but I personally think that, like, I don't know, I guess Canada's just doing it the way we run the world now, and I don't think it should matter if it's a feel-good story or not. If you're good enough to be on the team, you should be on it, and if you're not, you're not.
Dan, Jacob, before you interrupted me, I was trying to say that Doug Armstrong did say that it depends on who gets injured of who comes in. So let's say Mark Stone. If Mark Stone is not going to play a similar role to what Connor Bedard would play, Connor Bedard would not be the direct replacement for Mark Stone, though. It depends on who is injured. That is what Doug Armstrong said too. Like, it depends on the player who comes out. If Stone is going to play a role that Bedard would play, then Bedard would go in for Mark Stone. But it depends on the injury and who has been injured and what role they're supposed to be playing on the team. That's an important thing to remember.
Like, Mark Stone's been okay. He's got 9 goals, 21 assists for 30 points in 21 games. He's
had a great season again.
He has, 14 less points than Bedard, I think? I think Bedard had 44 when he got hurt.
Bedard in 31 has 44.
Oh, yeah.
He's Stone in
so good.
21 is 30.
Oh,
so comparable.
Yeah,
the problem is that Mark, look, I'm just going to say this. I'm sorry. Mark Stone has been, I don't get this obsession with Mark Stone. He's a 20 goal scorer. And I think I could bring in better players who are 20 goal. The last couple of years, okay? In 2019, 2021, 21 goals. 2020, 2021, 21. And 21, 22, and he played 37 games. He had 9. He hasn't played an 82-game season in his entire career, by the way, just to
not surprised by
perspective. 22, 23, 17 goals.
What's his
23, 24, 16 goals. 24, 25, 19 goals. This year he's got 9. If he's on pace, like if he played all 82 games, sure, he's like a 40 goal scorer, but he never plays every game in a year. He can never get through a tournament without getting injured. I don't even think this guy can get out of the shower without getting injured.
Jacob,
I like Mark Stone. He's a good player.
What's his playoff stats, which is the games that matter at the end of the day? Mostly.
Okay, in Vegas last year, 10 games, 8 points, 4 goals, 4 assists. Year before, 7 games, 3 goals, no assists. The cup run, sure, he had 11 goals, 13 assists for 24 points. The other year they played 19 games, he had 8 points. In 2019, 2020, 20 games, 17 points, -1. They're okay. They're not. I mean, if this was Austin Matthews, we'd be screaming for joy if this is what he was giving you. But everyone goes on that Mark Stone is this. He's a dog on a bone. He's this. He's that. And you go and look at the stats. They're not bad. But I can think of more clutch players than Mark Stone.
Jacob, let's look back at our rosters if we can do that compared to this.
I can.
I think that's a good thing. Except for Dan's, because Dan's was just bad.
No, do what? I have Bo Horvath, which none of you guys had on your team, and he made the actual team.
But that was So Dan, cool, you have one player right, but your team was.
That's one win. I'll take it.
Your team Canada was bad. You can agree to that. You said it in the video. It was a bad team.
It was different, not bad.
So, for example, here were my forwards, just to put into perspective, right? I had Hyman. There's no Hyman. I had Bertuzzi, no Bertuzzi. I had Bedard, no Bedard. Okay, I knew Jordan Eberle wasn't going to make it, but I still had Eberle. And Morgan Geeky's another one. How do you not bring one of the best goal scorers in the NHL?
Because in limited minutes he won't play. He won't be giving you what he's.
Mark Stone's going to get limited minutes.
Okay, but Jacob, I think Mark Stone gives you more. I think Team Canada's thought process. I shouldn't say I think, because my opinion would just be don't take Morgan Geeky, because I just don't think he'll play well in limited minutes. And to prove it, you look back at his minutes from before the last 2 seasons in limited minutes. In the other seasons he played outside of Boston, outside the last 2 years in Boston, he wasn't as good as he was these last 2 years. And I think that's an important thing to look at.
By what they're doing now, not what they did before.
No, but I'm just saying, Jacob, I think, I know that's just kind of back of what I had said, but in limited minutes, I can look back and see what he had done. And clearly, maybe Canada didn't look at it and didn't say, but whatever had happened in that room, maybe Morgan Geeky wasn't even in the conversation ago. I just don't think Morgan Geeky is as good as his stats had provided us. Maybe that's just a bad opinion, but I don't think he was.
I think it's a bad opinion personally, Adam, but you're entitled to it.
But Morgan Geeky won't do. I think what Mark Stone brings clearly for Canada was more than what Morgan Geeky brings. You don't need Morgan Geeky in this team because you have better players who will bring you goals anyways. So Morgan Geeky is basically would have just been
but Morgan Geeky's doing it on a team with not a huck of a lot.
Yeah, but he's playing with Pasternak, so you can say his stats are inflated because he's playing with one of the best players in hockey.
Couldn't you say that about a lot of these players though?
You could, yeah. Clearly you can.
That's like saying any player on a good team, their stats don't matter because they play with good players.
Well, no, I'm saying what I said was you could say Morgan Geeky's stats are inflated because of who he is playing with. That's what I had said. You could say. I didn't say they are. I said they could.
You could say that about Mark Stone then too, since he's arguing as much as I don't like Mitch Marner, he's one of the best playmakers in the NHL.
That's why I had on my team Canada. I was going, that's 2 people for me. I have Mitch Marner too. None of you guys have Mitch Marner.
And Dan, we're going to be going. So now what we're going to do, we just looked at my forwards. Now we're going to look at Adam's forwards. Then we'll look at Dan's.
My forward group is fun. So I had the top line correct, second line correct. They didn't take anybody on my third line.
No Scheifele, no Bedard, no Johnston.
Scheifele and Bedard are the 2. Wyatt Johnson, I actually didn't fully think he would make the team. And I have my reasons why I didn't think he would make it. But Scheifele and Bedard are the 2 biggest ones on my team that I'm so surprised didn't make it. Hagel, Suzuki, Wilson all made it. Seth Jarvis didn't make it. I thought he was a long shot to make it.
It's because he's hurt. If he was healthy, I think he'd be on this roster.
But this team, I thought my team is pretty similar. 3 players are missing from my team that didn't act. 4 players.
Wyatt Johnson is a big one.
Yeah, 4 players from my team. Wyatt Johnson, I don't think made it because most of his goals come on the power play. And I don't think he was going to get much power play time on this team. So understandably, they didn't take him. But Bedard and Scheifele are 2. Bedard and Scheifele were the 2 that
not that we haven't talked Mark Scheifele much. And then Dan,
I would have taken out Cirelli. And I definitely would have taken out Stone and would have put Bedard.
I was going to say that Mark Scheifele and Mark Stone. Basically, I would say Scheifele is Stone, but better. He's just as physical. He's faster. He has better hands. He's got a better shot. He's center. He doesn't get hurt every time he gets out of bed. He's a better player.
Yeah.
Straight up, he is a better player. All John Cooper did, he just looked at the 4 Nations roster.
Copy paste.
And I can't take the exact same roster. Oh, he's hurt, so we'll take Celebrini instead. And that's kind of it.
Mark Seifert's got 45 points and a +8 in 37 games. I don't get how he's not on this team again.
on a bad
the
team.
was never going to be perfect to what we thought it was going to be. They were always going to take, and I do think there is bias within, like, especially when you.
But John Cooper, for sure.
Well, no, especially when you consider that everybody who is selecting this team works basically in NHL, outside of Pete DeBoer. Lane Hudson will not make Team USA.
I think Lane Hudson will make Team USA.
Well, I say that A, because he wasn't there in the summer. A, he wasn't there in the summer. 2, there are two defensemen, at least 2 defensemen on that I think will be on the Team USA roster on Friday that literally do exactly what Lane Hudson does, but you could say they do it better. They have done it better in their careers. And you can say that they will run the power play way ahead of way up in the order than Lane Hudson is. And honestly, if Lane Hudson wasn't there in the summer, there's no way he's played himself onto this team over certain players.
Yeah, and Sam, Adam was talking about this in the chat. I didn't see it because I was being a terrific son and driving my mother to work.
Wow, Jacob, are you saying that I'm not a terrific son?
Did you drive your mother to work?
No, because my mom has her own car and she could drive herself to work.
So does my mom, but I care about her on these icy roads.
Okay, well, I wasn't up at 7 o'clock in the morning when my mom gets up to go to work.
I kid. I'm more calling out Dan because he was still in bed.
Yeah, that's true. Dan, you're a No, I was going to say something really mean, and no, I'm not going to.
He's not.
I was recording till 3 a.m., so awesome simulation mode junior stuff. We go check that out.
Yeah, Dan and Lane jumped back into the simulation again to see who's going to win between Canada, Finland, U.S., and Sweden. So check those out.
Very entertaining games.
But yeah, I thought the way they introduced the teams, I haven't seen it yet. Adam, you said it almost looked like AI, and it was just really strange.
Yeah, it was weird. Like they had just a bunch of kids who like kind of look like the players. Just saying, like they just said where the players are from, their names, and that was it. And then it was just like kids, and it looked kind of like AI, but I'm not 100% sure.
What?
It was weird.
Here's Dan's Team Canada, and again, a lot of players that Dan you had they left off. So no Travis Konechny. Actually, there's a Four Nations guy that's left off. No John Tavares again. No
not
Zach Hyman.
Not surprised by that.
I'm surprised about Zach Hyman, actually. I think, again, Anthony Cirelli. Zach Hyman's a much better version of Anthony Cirelli.
Well, you could say Zach Hyman has, like, injury concerns because of injuries that he has suffered recently. You could say there's injury concerns with him.
One thing I wanted to point out is my extras that you took off that graphic was Bo Horvath, Sam Bennett.
Sam Bennett didn't make the team.
And Tom Wilson.
Interrupting me
and Tom Wilson.
I just feel so interrupted every time. So interrupted. All my points getting cut off because of interruptions. It's just it hurts. It hurts. It hurts.
Sorry.
No, Dan. I will not forgive you for this. I'm gonna hold it against you. Yes, that's adorable. They definitely should have. His daughter is adorable.
Oh, that'd be cool. Oh, yeah. That would be sweet if they had
at the end of we're noticing, like, and you're saying about Zach Hyman, but again, I would take Zach Hyman over Mark. I'm going to keep harping on Mark Stone. I just don't.
Yes, Jacob, you seem to like just really have beef against Mark Stone.
I do, because he never sent me flowers. But Zach Hyman this year in 21 games has 11 goals, 10 assists, 21 points. A guy you can instantly put with Connor McDavid. You know what's going to work.
Also have 21 points. They're the same amount of points, maybe in less games. Actually, Hyman's
done it in less games, and he has a better plus-minus rating, and he's red hot right now.
Yeah, but playing next to Connor McDavid, bringing him in just to play next to Connor McDavid should not get him onto this team.
Why?
In my opinion.
You're playing to win, and you know this is instantly going to work. Remember, this is a really small tournament, so you need lines to click right away.
You could say
Zach Hyman. Honestly, you know what? No one even talked about him. You could have argued Ryan Nugent-Hopkins debatably could have made this team.
That was the debate at the Four Nations, and I disagreed with it. Like,
I would take him over. There's some players on here that I would take over. And again, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is better than Anthony Cirelli.
I agree.
Guys, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is 32 points in 31 games this year.
Wait, Dan, look, Jacob, look at the latest comment. It says Hyman is not Mike Bossy. Lol. Because I don't think you could take him. You can't take him for the purpose of playing next to somebody. Because look at the Four Nations, which, mind you, was shorter than the Olympic Games. So you could say chemistry is more important at that tournament. And I will say, I don't think playing next to Connor McDavid is a good enough reason to bring him, because I think Connor McDavid was perfectly fine with who he played with at the the Four Nations. So I don't think it's.
Can we not agree that Zach Hyman is like does the same thing as Anthony Cirelli, but does it better?
Yeah, 100%.
I don't think they do the same.
I think you could argue the same thing about Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins is a point per game guy, and
even had a fight the other night.
He can play a lower role if you need him to. I think Ryan Nugent-Hopkins. I didn't have him on my team, but that's a potential miss.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
Key does not like it that we're obsessed with these Edmonton Oilers. Leaf
fans
are
I think Zach Hyman's a great player, but I don't think Zach Hyman should have been on this Olympic team because I think there's players on this team that could play his role. And like, I don't think playing next to Connor McDavid is a good enough reason to bring him. I also don't think Nuge deserved to go. I disagreed with.
I think Nuge. We all missed on Nuge. Like.
Well, the Four Nations he was a heavy name linked with going to the Four Nations, which I disagreed with.
But there's someone who wants to give his take. He might be in his car. We don't know where he is. He's in a secret location in his bunker. But of course, we have Mr. Lane Dashco.
Okay, I can only stay for like 45 seconds because I'm in the middle of a delivery because I am New Year's Santa. I'm not quite the same Santa that goes, ho, 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 Merry New Year's. I have to deliver gifts. But I just wanted to stop in for 30 seconds to say, you guys are crazy if you don't think Mark Stone doesn't belong here. Because unlike the Maple Leafs, Mark Stone actually makes a difference for the team he plays for. The Vegas Golden Knights aren't even a damn playoff team. They can't even beat an AHL playoff. They can't even beat the AHL. They can't even beat the Burlington Cougars without Mark Stone. This team was hard. If you remember when Mark Stone was out of the lineup, everyone was like, oh, why'd they get Mitch Marner? Oh, Jack Eichel's washed. Oh, this team sucks. They might finish last. Then Mark Stone came in and they won. They haven't looked back. But gotta go. You can debate it and I'll listen on my phone. See you guys later.
Nice.
Nobody said Jack Eichel was washed when Stone was gone. That's crazy. Yes, I would take Suzuki.
Yeah, I'd take Suzuki.
I would too. Suzuki's a lot younger.
Every day of the week. Yeah. Cirelli's there because of what he does for Tampa Bay. And
he's just very good as John Cooper.
So, yeah, that's what I literally just said, man. That's literally John Cooper, okay. Yeah. So let me get this point across because I think this is an important thing that nobody has talked about yet. We talk about chemistry, but let's talk about trust because clearly, so let's say, well, clearly John Cooper trusts every single one of those players on the team. Anthony Cirelli, he knows he can trust because he played for Tampa. He's won 2 cups for Tampa Bay, won them both under John Cooper. John Cooper fully trusts Cirelli. He trusts Hagel, and that is a massive reason why they are on this team. That has not been brought up yet. Clearly, Mark Stone is somebody that is trustworthy to Mr. John Cooper. Clearly. Same thing with Doug Armstrong. I think Doug Armstrong trusts Jordan Binnington a little bit too much. Yeah, because he was brought in based on his reputation, which I don't think you could say that you should be drafting these players based on. But that's beyond the point. I feel like at this point, because this team is basically set. But like, I don't know. There are some decisions I didn't agree with. But I still think this team is heavily capable of winning the gold at the Olympics. Oh, yeah. I think depending on who the U.S. select, because I think the U.S. team is going to have some worse selections than this team because apparently, according to rumors, Jason Robertson, who mind you I took, is in the top 5 for American point scorers currently in the NHL. Him, Jay Getzel apparently might not go. Jay Getzel's up there. Another player. I don't think I took Jay Getzel, so maybe I shouldn't.
You did.
I did take him, but like. Same thing with Kyle Connor. He might not go, but Kyle Connor's up there for American points, despite the Jets' struggles. Like there are like Brady Tkachuk and Matthew Tkachuk both locked in. Kind of got to deal with that. But Matthew Tkachuk's supposed to be back soon as well. But he's already been locked in, so you kind of have to deal with it. But I think Cole Caulfield's probably not going to make it either. I'm sorry to break your Montreal Canadiens' heart, but Cole Caulfield is probably not going to go because A, he's small, and B, he doesn't play physical.
I agree.
We don't know the U.S. team yet, but if Caulfield, not on it, I think that's a huge L.
Huge miss if he's not.
I wouldn't
He's
disagree.
Even if you just bring him for a power play specialist, like you have 13 forwards, why not have specialists?
Well, that's basically what Cole
100%.
Eiserman last year was at. If you remember the World Juniors last year, Cole Eiserman barely played because he was the 13th forward, but he scored
power play
all
specialist.
of his goals on the power play because they only brought him.
He's having a big World
on the
Juniors
power
this year.
play.
But now what I want to do, I want to look at the defenses we selected.
I have a question about Team
Dan,
America.
we'll get to your question. Go ahead, Dan, and then we'll go through the defenses we selected versus.
Okay. How do we feel about the commercial of Matthews and Tkachuk being captains of Canadian teams?
I still haven't watched it. I have
going
no idea
against Team Canada.
Basically, Adam, they just say their goal is to make Canadians cry.
It'd be like
which mind you, was captains of Ottawa and
teams.
Toronto, who both aren't making the playoffs right now. Maybe they're playing the long game. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Weird.
They're American. They're
American
American captains. Who cares? They're American. They're American. Of course, their goal is to make Canadians cry.
But they're on Canadian NHL teams. They're supposed to hate them one week and love them the next week.
Wait, Dan, they're American. They're gonna say they want to make Canadians cry because they're gonna play for America.
No,
I don't like it.
But I would say but you watch it versus the Canadian commercial. The Canadian commercial is how we're good. We have a lot of top end talent and we can win. America's commercial is Canada sucks. Not that they're good.
Yeah,
Canada sucks.
It's like Coke versus Pepsi.
Well, because what do you expect? Their whole obsession for the last 16 years, nearly 16 years now, is to beat Canada after we took gold from them.
It's also a weird commercial when I think you could argue Sweden may have a better team than Sweden is just as competitive as Canada in the States.
Sweden's defense is going to be disgusting.
Sweden and
Finland.
Don't sleep on Finland. You guys are
really
going to laugh at me. Don't sleep on Germany. Leon Draisaitl might be able to win a gold medal by himself.
No, he can't. Germany will be dangerous, but Germany will not be in contention.
They'll be in contention for a medal. You watch.
They will not be in contention for a medal. If Czechia and Finland fall off a bloody cliff at the Olympics, Germany will be. Slovakia won't either. I don't think Slovakia are good enough. Men's team-wise, with the best players for everybody else, Slovakia, I think with Germany, are still going to be piled into that pile of teams that are going to be really good, but not compete. They're going to be the dangerous team.
This is the comment that I've said so much. This is why I don't want Austin Matthews going to Team USA.
Yeah, be interesting. Well, you never know. They could pull Matthews off the team. You never know.
Well, look at Quinn Hughes, for example, last year. I give Quinn Hughes so much respect. He missed the Four Nations so that he could rest for Team Vancouver because he said he is the captain of Vancouver. It was more important to him to win the Stanley Cup than to win the Four Nations.
But then I also do want to point out that Quinn Hughes was injured for the start of that tournament.
I understand.
There was always the question. Yes. So him saying once he got healthy, him saying that is cool. But he was also going to be on the team if he wasn't healthy. So the decision was made that he was going to go. He decided not to go because he didn't want to risk his health.
Yeah.
I'm not going to lie. I may be interrupted because I believe that my nephew is home. So I may have there may be a child running into my room at some point.
A child? Kids are scary.
We'll see. My parents might not let him up here.
Let's start to look at our defenses versus what got selected. And this is where it's very different. Now, obviously, I knew Luke Shen wasn't going to go.
Thomas Harvey, Jacob.
Even though I did have him, but Adams kind of convinced me maybe I shouldn't have.
Who, Thomas Harley?
Yeah.
Yeah, but he has not been good this year.
But I mean, you look here, and I think the noticeable. By the way, Luke Shen, which people may laugh at me, Luke Shen, I would argue, is he's better than Colton Parayko right now. I would argue.
Yeah.
But I mean, there are other guys you could have taken over Luke Shen or Colton Parayko. I totally get it. I just love Luke Shen, and he's a guy that I'd want on my team. But you look at this defense, right? So right away, Jacob Chikrin, Noah Dobson, Matthew Schaefer. Those are the three big ones that aren't on the current Team Canada roster that are on mine that I think should be on it. Or at least one of those three.
Yeah.
And especially Jacob Chikrin. Not Matthew Schaefer, I was really going back and forth on it. But Jacob Chikrin is having a phenomenal season. So is Noah Dobson. Matthew Schaefer has slowed down a little bit, but I still think I would have brought him.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the big three defensemen that I would have brought over what was brought. When we go look at Adam's team, Adam's defense is a little more similar than the actual
Can I go through my team myself, or are you going to go through my team for me?
You go through it, Adam.
I got the best defensive pairing in the NHL, bar none. There's nobody better than these two, Cale Makar and Devon Toews. Best pairing. Not the two best defensemen, but the best pairing. Morrissey, I took, and of course he's on the team. Jacob Chikrin, who is, I think, the biggest snub on the defensive side. He is so incredibly good. So good.
Noah
Jay Theodore, of course, went. Noah Dobson. I don't think he's as big of one as Chikrin is, but I do agree Dobson is a weird one for me. Doughty went. I do want to point out the reason I took Doughty on my team was in anticipation that Matthew Schaefer was going. I wanted to bring experience to help Matthew Schaefer. That was the reason I brought Drew Doughty, and he has been playing really well. But I thought my defensive core was very realistic to what I actually did think. Thomas Harley should not be on the Olympic team. I will keep saying that.
But now it's time to go through Dan's defense. And mind you, Dan, you have to say who your spares are.
Yeah, I have it here on my screen. My spares, I went way off the map for your Montreal fans. I bought Kalen Gooley. I love that kid. He's young, he's physical, he's huge. And for experience, I bought Chris Letang. I think he's a Quebec-born player. Chris Letang, I think, really should be on this team.
By the way, a little bit of a surprise in the World Juniors. Sorry to interrupt you, but Switzerland is actually beating Slovakia 2-0 after the first period.
Wow. That's
holy.
I did not have that in my book because I think Slovakia is a really good team, but maybe the Swiss are trying to show that they're a lot better than people think.
Wow, that's crazy.
Like Dan, and no offense,
jump Slovakia.
They will if they win. And yeah, Dan, I can kind of see the point here about Leaf fans are funny. There's no way in HE double hockey sticks that Morgan Riley was going to be on this team. There are a lot of better defensemen than Morgan Riley, and I love Morgan Riley.
I think Morgan Riley's very underrated. That's why I bought.
I'm not saying he isn't, but like,
go watch our Olympic hockey video, like our video of actually going in depth on our team. Go watch just Dan's part, and there will be a big explanation of what's going on here. Do watch the whole thing.
I wanted to go off the board a bit.
I will say too, and if you're looking for more in depth on what we picked, if you want to compare it to what the actual like Hockey Canada people who get paid the big bucks, not us who just sit in our basements and bedrooms. No Letang lols. Lane does not agree with Letang, apparently.
I like Letang.
You know what though? There are. I don't know.
I think Letang was there at the last Olympics.
One of those weird ones.
He's a real veteran defenseman, okay? And you need some veterans.
Was he there in 2014? I don't remember.
I believe so.
But if he was, then he would have been. Well, then guys, he was, funny enough, a part of the greatest defensive core Canada has ever assembled. In my opinion,
we just don't think about the 2006.
And I was right. Chris Letang is from Montreal, Quebec, so that would be my Montreal.
Dan,
person.
you also, I'm pretty sure you also have a
He's got 19 points this year.
Well,
he's won Stanley Cups.
Dan, I also think you have a Quebecois player in your goaltenders, if I remember correctly. But I'm not surprised there's no Quebec-born players at the Olympics because none of them. I will say this because I don't think this message gets across a lot. Quebec, you need to fix your hockey system because it sucks now. It is awful. You have not churned out very many great Quebec players a lot recently. I think there was a lot of great ones in the past, but you guys have lagged behind the other provinces in Canada. And it sucks to see because you guys have probably a lot of talent there, but Quebec hockey does not do as well as it should, in my opinion. I do want to say, I'm pretty sure Desharnais, I don't know if I'm pronouncing his last name right, who's on the third line for Canada at the World Juniors. I'm pretty sure he's from Quebec. And if I'm mistaken,
I think he is.
I am sorry, but he does play in the Q. So he does play in Quebec. He's really good. If he's from Quebec, then he's a great player who could one day make an Olympic team. He is very good.
But I think now it's time for us to go over the goalies. And I think this is where we all strongly disagree with some decisions that were made.
I know two of them. I know two of my goalies are on the team. I also said in the video, before anybody says, why did you take Binnington when you've been criticizing him? I took him because I actually did think he would make the team, which I was correct. I strongly disagreed with it. but I wanted to make my team as realistic as possible. You can go and see my explanation in full because I'm not going to give it. I think Logan Thompson should actually be the starter. I brought Scott Wedgwood because if you look at his stats, he has like 16 wins. He leads the NHL in wins, people. Scott Wedgwood should have been on this team ahead of Darcy Kemper, in my opinion.
I don't agree there.
Maybe he should have been there ahead of Jordan Binnington. Wedgwood's been better than Darcy Kemper, in my opinion, but that's just mine, of course.
But I mean, you look here, like Adam did bring 2 goalies that made it. So congratulations, Adam.
I'm smart.
When we go to my goaltending, I wanted Wedgwood and Blackwood, and I went a little off the board on Jake Allen, and I still think Jake Allen is a better goalie than Jordan Binnington. And Jake Allen is a guy that's used to coming off the bench cold when needed. I think in a short span tournament, I think Jake Allen would just give you really solid, consistent goaltending. Because for mine, I explained it better on that show, but 2 very young goalies plus 1 really experienced guy. And then Dan's goaltending. Dan, you'll have to remind us who your third goalie was.
My third goalie was Binnington because at the end of the day, he has the experience of the 4 Nations and representing Canada in the past. But these are the 2 goalies that we rely on heavily. I'm very happy that the Wheel Team Canada blocked Logan Thompson because there were a lot of words that he wasn't going to make it because of the people that he disagrees with in Team Canada. But Logan Thompson's by far the best Canadian goalie in NHL this year.
I don't know if I...
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt here, but I do want to say, because I just saw this come up on my phone, from Emily Kaplan. I don't know who she works for, but she tweeted out
ESPN USA.
Yeah, she's hearing that Clayton Keller, Tage Thompson, and Seth Jones have all been named to the U.S. Olympic team. They're all lads from the 4 Nations, and they're all 3 of them, I think I named for my Team USA, which is funny. But yeah, those are the first 3 of the, well, outside of the 6 that were already on the team. But like, if those 3 all go, that's certainly some choices that I actually do agree with. All 3 of those I agree with.
So do I,
actually. 3 of them deserve, but of course we won't know the U.S. team for another like 2 days.
And when the U.S. team is officially dropped, we'll come back on the desk. We'll do another show, and we'll break down that team the way we're heavily debating this Team Canada team. But I am curious. So if we gave everyone a letter grade, including ChatGPT, which I think that was the worst team by far.
Oh, that was horrendous. That was a bad team.
So what do we give the actual Team Canada in a letter grade?
Oh man, this is hard because I think all these players are great players. I don't want to take anything away from anybody when I disagree with them being on this team. I think they're all great players. I would give this, I'd give this an A because I think there are just a couple players I disagree with, but I do want to give this an A because this is a team that could go out and they could win Olympic gold. If they could play the same way they played at 4 Nations, this is a team that is certainly capable of winning Olympic gold. So I'll give it an A. I think there are definitely some improvements that could have been made, but an A for me.
I'm going to let you go last for a change. Congratulations. That way you can hear our picks and you can decide yours. For me, it's a B+. I think the defense and goaltending, there is a lot of problems. And I'm again not saying they're bad players, but I think there were better players available. Forward group, as much as I don't agree with all of it, I get the trust situation. But like guys like Jordan Binnington, Colton Parayko, especially those 2, they really should not be on this team. I think the defense, they went too big and they didn't bring enough guys that can move the puck and break out the offense.
Yeah.
This tournament is not going to be officiated the same way the 4 Nations was, where you were allowed to murder each other. And I think this team on the back end is going to be a little bit too slow at times. So, and goaltending, I'm worried about how much leash they're going to give Binnington. And he gives up a bad goal a game. Let's just be honest on that one. Dan, I know you go on about Joseph Woll having that problem, but I think
it's the same issue. Yeah.
At least, yeah, but Woll does it well, stopping over 90% of the shots he faces. Binnington does it while only stopping like 87, 86% of the shots he faces. So for me, I think the goaltending and defense could have been better. Forward group, I don't agree with it, but I understand the logic. So for me, that's why it's a B+. good point here. Which of these teams win Stanley Cups? You could break into that on those players. How many cups are won out of this roster? Maybe they are looking for championship pedigree. Maybe that's the thought process.
That's a big part of it too, for sure.
But Dan, what's your overall letter grade on this roster?
I'm giving it a B. I think there's some huge major misses. Wow. I think Bo Horvat, I'm very happy we picked Bo Horvat. I'm very happy we picked Tom Wilson. I'm very happy they picked Logan Thompson. But I think not taking Mark Scheifele is the biggest miss of all. It was the biggest miss last year. Also, I'm also very happy about Nick Suzuki. He's a phenomenal player. But missing Mark Scheifele is a giant miss for me. Missing Noah Dobson is, again, a giant miss for me. Not taking one of Colorado goalies, giant miss for me. And I think Travis Konecny is one of those guys. Yeah, he's not going to get to the game-winning goal probably, but he's going to be a very solid player. And the other... Oh, yeah, I don't know. It's just how I'm feeling, bud. I don't know. I just... what was the other big miss for me? There was another one. I'm like, holy cow.
There were certainly some. I mean, the issue is no matter who they brought, there are going to be guys who are going to look and be like, how did so and so not make the team? Because you're always, Canada is very lucky that we have a plethora of really talented individuals who have done a lot for Team Canada, done a lot in the seasons. Like, I knew
Sam Bennett, that was the other big miss for me. Sorry.
Like, personally, I knew he wouldn't make it, but I still think not taking Jordan Eberle is an L. This is a guy that's done so much for this country in the past, whether it's the World Hockey Championship, whether it's the World Juniors, whether it's whatever you want it for. This is a guy that can really play great leadership, can play in your bottom six, can kill penalties, can be on your power play if needed. He's a guy, I don't know,
A+.
Again, I would take a guy like Jordan Eberle over a guy like Mark Stone. But as the comment said, if you remember, a lot of us felt the Four Nations roster could have been better, and then it went out and won. So if they win, all of a sudden we'll all be thrilled with this roster. But if they don't win gold,
with this roster, so
but I'm saying if they don't win gold, you're going to go back and look at this roster and really start to break it down. But I mean,
depends on where they finish for me.
I like Brandon Hagel. That's a great pick. He's a very underrated player.
If they miss out on a medal, that's when you look back and you say this was a terrible selection. If they medal, you could still say like be upset, but like it's still a team that ended up like.
Well, I'm going to say this for Team Canada. I think Team Canada has to be in the gold medal game. If they're not in the gold medal game, I'm not saying
depends on who's in the gold medal game for me. If it's US Sweden, I won't be upset that Canada's not there.
I will be still. I'll be upset that I think Canada didn't bring the right players.
Yeah.
Well, it's still Sweden, and it's not like Sweden and the US are going to have bad teams either.
They won't have bad teams at all. It's kind of like, though, when the Edmonton Oilers lose in the Stanley Cup Finals to Florida 2 years in a row. Edmonton had a good team, but they clearly didn't make the right decision in not bringing better goaltending.
Yeah,
and fixing that issue. If Canada doesn't make it, if Canada doesn't win gold, everyone will scrutinize the roster. I'm not saying it's fair. I'm not saying it's right.
Oh, interesting comment here.
Hey, how's it going, Nick? Always good to see you again. Yeah, I think Scheifele definitely should have made this team.
100%. That's the biggest miss for me, Mark Scheifele.
Over Bo Horvat. Well, why don't we do a comparison here then? Actually,
I like Bo Horvat though. I would pick Scheifele over Anthony Cirelli. I have no idea why he's on the team. Besides what Adam said, that the fact that there's trust with John Cooper because he's won Stanley Cups.
The only reason he's on the team, Dan. There's no other
reason.
He's only on the team because of trust. That's the only reason.
100%.
It's not because he's better than anybody who's missed the team. It's because John Cooper just trusts him more than anybody else, clearly.
And I'm not slamming him personally. He's a nice guy, and he's a great player.
I'm glad he knows what he likes for breakfast. He's such a nice guy.
I'm going to say, there's so many great players in Canada.
Hey, thank you very much, Nick. Really appreciate that. Always happy to have you in the comment section. I'm glad you enjoy the podcast. And
awesome.
Just to do a comparison here, Mark Scheifele, 18 goals, 27 assists, 45 points plus 8.
On Winnipeg.
Bo Horvat, 21 goals, 12 assists, 33 points plus 5. Now, I think Horvat does some things differently than Scheifele.
And he can play both, but Scheifele can play both too.
But to be honest, if I was going to have to pick one or the other, I would bring Mark Scheifele over Bo Horvat. If this is the decision, I can either bring this guy or I can either bring this guy. I definitely feel I would take Mark Scheifele over Bo Horvat. And this isn't me criticizing Bo Horvat. But then I look at other players like an Anthony Cirelli, or I know, Dan, you just said you love Brandon Hagel, but I would bring Bo Horvat over Brandon Hagel. So that's where it just kind of...
I would have agreed with you until I watched the Four Nations.
I don't care
Brandon Hagel really stepped it up on the Four Nations.
That's a different tournament.
I get it.
Look, you're giving Adam a migraine.
You guys are both giving me a migraine. It's not Dan. It's the same...
Clean that house
conversation we're gonna have until the Olympics start.
But he gives it a B as well.
But it's I think we can all disagree, but in hindsight, when we look back at it, I want to say this. I think when we look back at it, and I like to say this to a lot of people because I'm like, then you can't be happy when they win Olympic gold because you didn't like the roster in general. You can't go, and I do want to say this because I'm gonna hold both of you to this. If Canada wins a gold, I'm gonna tell you guys exactly. I'm going to come back and I'm going to say exactly what you guys said here. I'm going to tell you guys, well, you guys didn't like the roster, but you guys are allowed to be happy and celebrate that they won gold. But it's important. It's important to also remember what you said previously and not just go back on it. I'm going to come here and I'm going to say if Canada fails and I don't think they live up to expectations, I'm going to come on here and say, yeah, I like the roster. I look back at it now and I'm like, yeah, I would say that this roster wasn't good enough, but that's always in hindsight, of course. But I don't like when people, and I don't say you guys do it, but a lot of people on here and maybe just in general come on here and say now they hate the roster and then they'll go back and say, oh, I always knew this roster was going to win gold. This team was always set to win gold. Well, I'm like, no, you didn't say that because you didn't say that 2 months before the Olympic Games when they came out with the roster and you said, oh, this team is not good enough and they're probably not going to win gold.
No, I'm not saying they're not going to win gold.
No, but I'm not talking about you, Jacob. I'm just talking about in general. There's going to be people saying yeah, this team can't win gold. America's going to win gold because look at all the players they brought. But it's at the end of the day, when we go, it's always in hindsight. You could say, oh yeah, I knew this team wasn't going to win gold. That's in hindsight though, when you're looking back at it now.
But what
this team, as constructed, I do want
to
say
this comment about Wilson because I was just about to say the same thing. Wilson, this guy's 20th goal of the year. And, he's a great player. I was just going to say that's the early game going on. Right now, Washington's beating the Rangers 3-2.
Well, the Rangers suck.
He's a great player.
I love Wilson.
Deserves to be on the Olympics.
No, but and you got to remember, when I'm giving this team a B+, is a solid grade, I think. And when I'm looking at it, I'm not looking at the team overall. The team overall was just a pure team. This is an AA+ team. But I'm grading it more on what they could have brought versus what they did, right?
Well,
and
no,
that's more. But when I give a team a B+,
grading it on who's there, not who's not there.
But I have to look at what they could have brought versus what they did. I feel you can't, for the team like Canada and the States, and I would say Sweden as well, and even Finland, you have a plethora of talent that you can bring. So when you're looking at the roster, sure, these are all great forwards in the NHL. And no matter who Canada brings, it'll be a good team. But to me, it's a B+ because I think the team could have been better. It's kind of it's like a grade curve in school. The grading curve. For me, the grading curve is higher for Canada versus, we'll say, Latvia. No disrespect to Latvia. Because they don't have the plethora of talent pool that we have. It's like, how big of a shovel do you have versus the hole you're trying to fill?
But Jacob, you could also say that because of Canada's plethora of talent and how small an Olympic team is, you can't bring everybody that you want.
No, you
can't. I think it's important to note that I think when you're selecting a roster, and I think this is something you could say about any, I know it's a small tournament, but you also can say that when you play Olympic hockey, you do need to bring players that have a certain skill set over players that don't have the same skill set. You can say that you need to bring, you certainly, I know it's only 7 games. You still need to bring players that can kill penalties.
You do.
You can't just bring, you can't.
That's why I bought Travis Konecny.
I will also say, Dan, though, but you also can't just bring a team that is only physical. And I know you don't like the Sam Bennett pick. And I know you didn't like certain players coming because they're not physical enough and they're not big enough and the Olympic ice is small. I get all that. But it's like you can't just bring, like I will say, look at the 2016 when the team the US brought at the World Cup of Hockey. That team was a horrible team. They made so many indecisions. They made horrible selections, and that's why they got dumped out in the groups, was because they selected the wrong team. But like there are a lot of you can't just bring a physical team. You also need to bring a team
I get that.
Like fast and can still move on transition. Like you can't I think this team is a good mix of what you should have brought to the team. There are players that maybe shouldn't be here, as Jacob has gone on a long tangent about Mark Stone already. But Mark Stone, like it or not, Mark Stone is there is a reason that Mark Stone is on this team.
I get that.
Certain players are not on this team. There are a reason for every one of them. We don't know the reasons because Armstrong didn't fully give out all the reasons. But there are reasons these players are on the team, like it or not. Even like Jordan Binnington's there for a reason, whether we like it or not.
And I'm not saying it's a bad team and I hate it and I hope the team sucks. Like, okay, I'll be honest. The 2000
next goal is gonna be great.
The 2000 then I will get to this question. The 2006 Team Canada roster, I hate it. I despised it. It was terrible. When they finished sixth, I thought that was good for how bad that team was built. It was bad with a capital B. And just the bad whatever in general, bringing Todd Bertuzzi was just a total L on that team. That team was terrible.
02 was the best team of history.
But I don't feel that about this team. I feel this is a really good team that can definitely win gold. However, I still think there are players that you potentially could have brought. But as Adam said, you could be going through this entire roster and almost switch off any guy for any guy. Maybe not like a Connor McDavid, Nathan McKinnon, Sidney Crosby, but like you could almost swap off any other, in theory, a lot of other players. Now, when you look at great next Canadian goalie,
great question, by the way. Thanks for the question.
Jackie Ivanovich, those two are both very
Ivan Kovic. Yeah, I could see Ivan Kovic or Carter
Ravensburg is very good. I think Devin Levi, despite Devin fully asserted himself in the NHL, but he is an amazing goalie, and he'll be a great goalie in another 4 years for Canada. At the
unpopular opinion, I actually think Ivan Kovic has a higher ceiling than Carter George.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I watched the way Ivan Kovic reads plays as a goaltender. He seems to just be better positionally than Carter George is at a younger age.
Well, look at the team.
And that's not me saying Carter George is going to be bad, by the way. I think Carter George is going to be a very good goaltender in the NHL. But I really like the way Ivan Kovic reads play. I think his hockey IQ, which I don't think people talk about hockey IQ and goaltenders enough, is very high. Look at Carey Price. He was not the most acrobatic, but he was so good at reading a play. He was just there at the right time. Versus a guy like Vasilevsky, he's huge and acrobatic, and that's how he can do so well. Where Dustin Wolf reads plays and he's acrobatic, so even though he's smaller, he can have a lot of success. So like I just look at Ivan Kovic. I think his hockey IQ is really high. And that's why I personally think he will be the next, like, I forget who has his rights in the NHL, or if he's been drafted yet.
I think he's LA.
I think he's draft eligible this year.
Tell you one thing, if I'm looking for a goalie, Ivan Kovic is the guy that I would pick very high to bring in.
Carter George and
Ripken
George is an LA prospect.
And so is Ripken in Finland.
But I do want to shout out, Ripken, who is the current defending best goalie in the World Juniors. LA, I'm not going to lie, maybe this is a little bit of a hot take. LA has the best goaltending future, like, currently.
I agree with that, yeah.
They have the two best young goalie. Jacob Fowler is right up there. So Montreal does have a really good young, him and Dobish are both very good.
Oh, yeah.
But I think LA... of the players not in the NHL.
LA's goaltending currently is really good.
They have the two best tandem
Darcy Kemper.
They have two of the best young goalies.
You got
Jacob
Kemper and Anton Forsberg, which Forsberg will probably make Team Sweden.
Oh, Spencer Knight's phenomenal. If he doesn't make the Team USA, I'd be surprised because he's been.
I mean, though, you look when you have Anton Forsberg and Darcy Kemper, plus you have two really good goalies in your pipeline. LA likes to build from the goaltending out. Like you look at when they win their cup runs with Jonathan Quick, they really like to get their goaltending and work their way out. Where like a team like Toronto, thinks of goaltending as we'll figure it out later, and they just get a bunch of guys who can score.
Well, I have a lot of good
Montreal is
talent.
kind of in the middle. Montreal's done a good job at finding goalies in odd places.
Yeah.
Right? Like Tim
Dobson,
Montembeau's coming off a really good start in Montreal. I know he hasn't had a great year, but like Montreal's done a good job at getting goalies that no one wanted and figuring out that they can play really at a high level.
So I have a question here for you all. We've been debating this a while now.
Oh, wow. Devon
this is breaking
news.
Wow. His wife is expecting and won't leave her side to go to Italy.
Wow.
Whoa.
Great.
Well, so if Taves doesn't go,
that's fair enough.
No, that's fair.
I love that.
No, I swear I've hit puberty. I don't know what happened to my voice there. But
fair enough. Respect to Devon Taves, though, to be fair.
100%. Family. But thank you very much for the breaking news. Don't go to steamboot.com for anyone who's watching us on Twitch. We get these bots, and Twitch doesn't let me delete comments from where we do our streams. If Devon, sorry, Dan, I know you want to say something, but I think we got to.
No, go ahead.
This Devon Taves. If Devon Taves doesn't go, who do you bring?
Schaefer. Matthew Schaefer.
But we said you bring someone who can replace. Do you think Schaefer and Makar would play well together? Or is that too offensive?
So I will say this, because I think, no, because Doug Armstrong said he would replace how they're going to replace a player is they're going to do it from a similar skill set. I will agree. Matthew Schaefer probably isn't. That's just who I would bring.
Because like Devon Taves only has 12 points. Do it,
but I don't think if Uyghur does go, or like whoever comes in for Taves, he probably doesn't end up. He more than likely probably doesn't end up playing with Cale Makar anyways. Like they may just switch up the lines.
I'm a big Flames fan, but he hasn't had a great year this year, and he's got a temper issue.
Dobson, Noah Dobson.
That's what I was going to say. Noah Dobson's my guy.
Noah Dobson would be a good choice.
Schaefer would be sweet.
I'm shocked Noah Dobson's not on this team.
But that doesn't mean they'll play with Makar, though. That's the
no. But I mean, like you talk about replacing the defenseman with what the defenseman does.
So
Devontae Taves is not offensive at all.
So it would probably be Dobson then.
He's a pure shutdown defenseman.
No, Dobson's not pure shutdown, but Dobson.
No, I'm saying that Devon Taves is.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying like Dobson, who I would say would probably be like.
I'm putting Noah Dobson 100%.
Go and replace Taves. He's not a pure shutdown defenseman, but Dobson is a good player. Like I think Noah Dobson, but I also think Drew Doughty could be a good shutdown defenseman if Canada needs. He's good on the defensive side. I think it would be interesting to see. I don't know who else they would bring. Like Uyghur's not a shutdown D, man.
Ain't a shutdown D, and that's kind of.
I would say you would bring Bertangelo, but Bertangelo, of course, can't play hockey right now. I don't know who else they would like. Dougie Hamilton, but Dougie Hamilton's not shut down.
I mean, he just got injured last night.
What I say would not happen.
Okay.
What I say would not happen. I would bring a Luke Shen instead. I know that won't happen. By the way, you guys can all roast.
It's a cool take. I like your take.
I will. You know what?
No, I wouldn't boo it. I love Luke Shen.
I'll give you it.
Oh
no! Luke Shen will not make this team. However. When I'm looking at a pure shutdown to replace, Luke Shen plays very, very well with the type of
Stanley Cups
Cale Makar is.
And he won the Cups with John Cooper.
Right? So Luke Shen would be someone that I would consider, even though he won't. Jacob Chikrin doesn't really replace what Devon Taves does. But as Adam pointed out, do you just move up like a Drew Doughty to play with
Well, the lines would get flipped because Devon Taves and Makar we're gonna play next to each other. The lines are gonna change either way. Like I don't think whoever comes in is a direct, even if they are a direct replacement for what like Devon Taves brings, that doesn't mean the chemistry will work with Cale Makar though. That's the thing. Like I think that was the only definite pairing was Devon Taves and Cale Makar, and that's just because they play.
Unless you just try to put Parenko with Makar because Parenko was a similar.
I would say
style.
Morrissey would be next up. Yeah, but
Morrissey's not really a stay-at-home. I'd say he's more offensive.
Yeah, but Cale Makar is good enough defensively where he doesn't need a stay-at-home defense.
I don't know if I totally agree.
I want Cale Makar jumping up on the West.
I want Makar just
I don't think Cale Makar is as bad defensively as he used to be.
No, I'm not saying he's bad, but for Cale Makar to be the most effective is when he's jumping in the rush. Like Josh Morrissey, by the way, if he went up there, 6 goals, 24 assists, 30 points, +7. Josh Morrissey is a very underrated.
On Winnipeg.
On Winnipeg, no less.
I think it could work, though. I really do. I do think Cale Makar is going to go up on the rush no matter who plays next to him. That's just what's going to happen because that's just Cale Makar's game. Cale Makar's not going to stay at home.
I don't see Mackenzie Weegar -16 on. I know he's on Calgary, but I don't think -16 is, it's not where you want to be. Yeah, you could potentially put Parenko with Makar, but is he too slow?
Right.
I
like Parenko. He's just having a bad year.
No, damn, but Parenko, even when he's good, he's not fast.
No, I understand that.
So that'll be interesting if Devon Taves can't. You know what? Let's hope that obviously the baby is born happy and healthy and before the Olympic tournament starts.
Yeah, for sure. But just a case where, God forbid, there's no issues. So just a case where is, I understand he wants to be there.
Oh, for sure. You want to be there for
you don't want to be on the other side of the wall,
I certainly I give Devon Taves a lot of respect for doing what he's doing potentially.
100%.
But there you have it, guys. That's the rosters. Those are our thoughts.
So just quickly before we go off,
because he certainly did tell Doug Armstrong that that's something that could potentially happen. They took him despite knowing that he potentially isn't going.
Well, because
that's an important thing to.
Yeah, not sure who's right or left. That's a really good point with defense.
He's being taken
Put that comment up, Jacob.
Canada knowing that he might not be going anyway.
Point. That's something we don't know on top of our heads.
That's interesting.
But Dan, you wanted to make a point before we got into that whole debate.
Yes. 2 points.
2 points.
I want to go around the room. Who was the biggest miss? Who was the biggest miss for you guy on this team? The biggest miss of the player that did not make it that should have.
Okay, I have a point to make. Oh, he didn't. Oh.
He didn't say anything to Team Canada. He didn't think he had to.
Okay, fair enough.
Ooh.
He just posted photos on Instagram and figured they'd figure it out.
The biggest miss. So I have one is a caveat. So I will say one and then I'll say the other because I think Connor Bedard, if healthy, is the biggest miss.
Fair. Okay.
If Connor Bedard is not healthy, then it's Mark Scheifele. But Connor Bedard, in my opinion, is the biggest miss. If healthy, Connor Bedard is the biggest miss on this roster.
What do you think, Jacob?
You know what, Dan? It's your question. You go next.
Okay, well, I'm taking Adam's answer, too. For me, it's Mark Scheifele. I think he was a big snub for the Four Nations and, again, for the Olympics. I do not get it. He is by far the leader on Winnipeg. Well, Adam always a leader, but by the numbers, Mark Scheifele is the leader on Winnipeg. He was a tank for the Barrie Colts when we watched him in juniors. He represented Team Canada in the juniors. I believe he even went for the other thing. What do you call that thing, Jacob?
Spangler, World Cup of Hockey.
Not the Spangler. Whatever you do playoffs.
The World Hockey Championship.
That's it. I think he's representing Canada for that too. I think that's the biggest miss. What do you think, Jacob? Who's the biggest miss?
Scott Wedgwood.
Nice.
You could have brought in the best goalie available to your country, and you didn't bring him. I think the goaltending is inexperienced and sus. You're bringing in guys that Darcy Kemper's having a down year from last year. Jordan Binghamton's having a down year from last year, and Logan Thompson has an attitude problem.
Yeah,
I think you're bringing in 3 goalies that all 3 of them could fall apart. They could also all be great. But I think Scott Wedgwood is the biggest miss on this team because I don't think Canada has a plethora of all-star goaltending, and he missed a guy who in 24 starts has 17 wins.
I like that point. I thought we were going to say Mike Seyfried, so that's interesting. So, second part of this question. Who is the biggest win? Who's the one person you're like, yes, I didn't think of that, but if I bought him, good?
Well,
Well,
that's
I
an
mean, I think
interesting one. So I will say, like, sorry,
ahead.
Jacob, you go first.
Okay, I would say the biggest one that I didn't think would make the team, but that did, was Tom Wilson.
Oh, okay.
I love Tom Wilson. He's big. He's physical. He can score. I just didn't think they'd bring him because he's a little bit of a baboon. But, like, I think Tom Wilson is a guy that can have a huge impact in this tournament. Either him or Celebrini, because I wasn't sure if they'd bring Celebrini until, like, yesterday.
So here you are taking two. Okay.
So,
what do you think, Adam?
I'm going to go and say, because I was going to say Bo, but I'm going to go with Mitch Marner. If you guys can remember my answer previously, I said in the video when I selected my team, I did not think Mitch Marner was necessary for this team because of the skill that I brought. Mm-hmm. But with the players that I brought that aren't on this team, I think Mitch Marner is a brilliant pick for Canada. Say what you want about Mitch Marner. The opinions have flied on this podcast, especially in Leafs Nation, about Mitch Marner, maybe as a person, to a lot of you, which I don't think is fair criticism that we should be able to give out on him. I do think Mitch Marner is a world-class player. And I would say, given the selections that have been made, Mitch Marner is the biggest win. My other one would have been Bo Horvat, because I did not think of him, and I feel really badly about it now because I really do like Bo Horvat.
So I like both your guys' answers. They're great answers. For me, it's Bo Horvat because I think he is so underrated. I get he's been kind of slumpy the last couple of years, but now he's finally figured out the island. He's got 33 points in 35 games, 21 goals, +5. I love the fact he can play both center and wing. And something else I want to point out, Mark Seyfried and Bo Horvat, too. They both played for Canadian markets, so they know the stress of playing for a Canadian team. And I got to say about a comment, too, about Matthew Purcell. I think that's a really big snub, too, that none of us really thought about.
Well, Purcell this year, 10 goals, 20 assists, 30 points, +9 in 39 games. He's
done very well. Yeah,
I just think with Barzal, there are guys that do the same thing as Barzal.
I would rather bring Barzal than Anthony Cirelli. Can we all agree on that?
Yeah, but they're not the same type of player, though.
Yeah, but I was gonna say, like, you'd be comparing Barzal to like Mitch Marner, Braden Point, who you had to bring, those kind of guys. And
that's
I
an
would say if I had to
comparison.
pick between Barzal and Marner, and I'm not even a Marner fan, I would take Marner over Barzal.
I agree with that. We can get a comment, bro.
This is an unfair criticism because Zach Hyman didn't play 2 years ago in the playoffs at all. I don't think he played in the playoffs.
But also,
welcome to the decks.
Welcome to the decks.
I will say that's an unfair thing to say to do for Zach Hyman just because of his injury issues. Because Mark Stone, I don't think has as many points as he did when they won the Cup, but like I'll say it's unfair, because Hyman's just been really injured, I think, the last 3 years. I don't think he played in either of the last 2 runs.
Yes, he did.
Of course, could be wrong.
Hyman did.
Oh, he did. Well,
he didn't play the whole run, but he
was a big factor.
In 23-24 in 25 games, he had 16 goals, 6 assists, 22 points, and a +12.
Okay,
and then 24-25 in 15 games, he had 5 goals, 6 assists, 11 points, and a +10. Honestly, I would have taken Zach Hyman over Mark Stone.
I honestly could remember if he played 2 years ago, and I couldn't remember if he played in these last playoffs.
We look at Mark Stone.
I still don't think Zach Hyman should have gone. I disagree that he should have. Because I do think Sam Reinhart being there, like, basically just like Sam Reinhart and Zach Hyman basically do the same kind of thing. Sam Reinhart's just a better goal scorer, in my opinion. I think Bo Horvat was unnecessary. I could understand saying over Anthony Cirelli, but again, the reason Anthony Cirelli is there and the reason Zach Hyman would have been there are completely 2 different reasons. So I won't go into that at all.
But Mark Stone, last year in 10 games, 4 goals, 4 assists, 8 points, and a -4. The year before, 7 games, 3 goals, no assists, and a -2.
Yeah, Zach Hyman's.
So I mean, when people are still thinking of Mark Stone from the 22-23 run, I think that's.
Yeah, I think so.
And I'm not saying Mark Stone's a bad player, by the way, but
No,
that's a very interesting.
he's like a
comment.
super nice
Thank you
guy,
very much
too.
for bringing that into the chat.
But again, I say there's a reason Mark Stone's there. Like,
No,
I
for
would
sure.
say-
There's a reason why everyone.
He's a leader. He's a captain. He's a leader.
By the way, 3-0 Switzerland over Slovakia.
Whoa,
Slovakia
Slovakia is also being outshot 14-8. Switzerland is 2 for 3 on the power play.
How is Switzerland beating Slovakia?
I don't think you guys realize how good Switzerland is in this tournament.
No,
Adam did say they were the sleeping dog.
I will say
Slovakia was.
And I think it becomes really interesting because, in my opinion, the Swiss and Slovakia are both really dangerous. But I think it becomes interesting because whoever wins tonight faces Slovakia currently, because the Swiss would jump Slovakia, and whoever loses tonight plays plays Switzerland. Because Switzerland will be 3.
You mean between U.S. and Sweden, correct?
No, because U.S. and Sweden are in the same group as Slovakia.
No, what I mean, like the winners would play the opposite 1 and 2 of the other group.
No, 1 and 4 play on each side, and 2 and 3.
Yeah.
So the winner tonight, the winner of Slovakia and Switzerland. Oh wait, no, I did get that confused. So Canada, so the winner of Canada versus Finland plays. No, wait, no, yeah. The winner of the winner of Canada versus Finland faces the loser of this game. The winner plays the loser of the other game because they would be 3.
And I'm going to say
Switzerland can't jump the U.S. or Sweden. And if I'm not,
no, they can't. We know the top 2 of each. We know the top 2 of. Actually, no, we don't know the top 2 of each. Unless Czechia, if Czechia wins,
can only jump Finland.
Yeah,
Canada
we know Canada's either
by
first or second. We know Finland is either first, second, or third. We know Czechia is either third or second. We know Latvia is 4th. In Group A, we know Sweden and the U.S. will either finish first or second. We know Slovakia or Switzerland will either finish 3rd or 4th. So I will say this, though. I don't think Canada or Finland should sleep on Slovakia or Switzerland.
No, not at all.
I was just about to say,
and I don't think the U.S. or Sweden are going to want to sleep on Latvia if either one of them face Latvia. I know.
Just a reminder, in our simulation video game land, the video game predicted Switzerland to beat America, which didn't happen in real life, but it shows how good the Swiss team is.
They almost did. The Swiss are a good team.
Very good. I just want to point out, too, going in the third period, Washington's still up on the Rangers 3-2. And Vegas and Nashville is going to start at 3 o'clock. So that game's starting soon. If you have the day off today, you want to watch some hockey?
I guess quickly before we sign off for the day, we're in the second intermission of the Slovakia versus Switzerland game. How are you guys feeling about Canada versus Finland and U.S. versus Sweden? Like, are we seeing U.S. and Canada both getting the job done?
Nope. Sweden's beating the U.S. in my opinion, and Canada, I think they're very capable of beating Finland. I can't really predict that game. And I will say the reason I have such an exact prediction for Sweden USA is because I think Sweden have proven more to me than the US have, in my opinion. Yeah. So that's why I think Canada will beat Finland, but I think it will be a tight game.
I could actually see Finland potentially beating Canada, but it's really hard to tell with Finland because
which is exactly why I say it would be tight.
Like,
and I don't want to give an exact prediction.
No, I'm not going to give exact predictions either, but I will say this. I think either of those games could go either way. I think Czechia will beat Latvia. If anything, I think because Latvia can't climb up any higher in the standings, if my math is correct. Actually, no, if Latvia beats Czechia in regulation, they could finish 3rd. So it'll be interesting to see, does Latvia run their top goalie again to try to get 3rd? Or do they rest
have a day off? They have a day off tomorrow.
So that'll be interesting to see. Because Czechia has 5 points, Latvia has 4. So they would need to win in regulation because I do not see Latvia outscoring Czechia.
Just a reminder, too, crazy. Both these games, Lane and I stayed up to 3 a.m. last night doing the simulation on the PlayStation. We do commentator when we predict when the game plays the game. And both these games are on YouTube and our Facebook page. You can watch the whole game and see what the video game predicts it.
Hey,
thank you. Happy New Year to you, too.
as
and sponsors and subs. That would be amazing.
And
so
a
yes,
partridge in a pear tree.
So if you're new to the channel,
oh my gosh, that's my dad.
Hello, welcome to the
Dad.
Hi.
Yeah, you know what? I do agree that it'll be a tough game for Finland to see
down to determination and want.
And please subscribe to the channel as a huge help. Don't want to sound like a broken record, but any new viewers, please subscribe to the channel because boost the algorithm and try to get to 100 subs. Once we get there, it's a new level. That means we're higher in the algorithm. It means we can do more for you guys. So more subs, more likes, more comments, more shares. Just like what Adam did. Share it with your family and friends, right? That helps a lot. So thank you, everyone, for all the great comments. Really.
Oh, Adam, your lunch is ready.
Yeah, I know. I just.
Nice. Lucky you.
Oh, you know
wow.
what? I think we should sign off. So Adam
Dad puts it into the comment section.
100%. Just sliding in the DMs, yo.
Anyway,
Dan, that is not what he says.
That's not what that means.
Do not say that, Dan.
But thank you very much for joining us at the Analyst Desk. I'm looking for more Analyst Desk content. Make sure you follow us on all the social medias. Adam, I hope you put in the comment section later what you had for lunch because everyone's going to want to know.
I'll tell you.
Oh,
later,
100%.
Yeah. I'll tell you later. I'll tell you later when we're on later. I'll tell you.
Oh, so you don't even know what you're getting for lunch? It's a surprise.
No, I do know what I'm getting for lunch. I already know.
Oh, you're just keeping us waiting.
We will be on later tonight after the Finland-Canada game because we're going to have to break down what happened there and do a little bit of a preview about what's happening next in the World Juniors.
And Team USA.
Yep. But I mean, I'm just saying, Dan, the Canada game is after the Team USA game, so get wrecked.
No, I mean the Team USA for the Olympics get announced today, too.
No, they don't. They get announced on Friday.
I told you.
Adam
said Friday 17 times, Dan.
Friday
morning.
17 or 38. I'm like, hey, what's up? Hello. But thank you very much, everyone, for watching us at the Analyst Desk, where every day feels like game day. We'll be back after the Canada-Finland game. Adam, your lunch must be getting cold. So thank you very much.
I know, it must be.
So thank you, everyone, for watching. And we will see you next time at the desk. I'm the Self-Proclaimed Sports Analyst, joined by Mr. More for Your Money.
Woo! Happy New Year! Tag still on. Let's go.
Adam, the Hungry Goat. Until next time, we'll see you later. Thanks for joining, everyone.
This way I can return it for next year. Bye-bye.
Bon appetit.
Bon appetit.